Night 15. Utopia! God knows what will happen next. Amiya wakes up after last night's escapades. Pick whatever you want for what I mean by escapades. But he wakes up at 1 o'clock, which is late for him. He decides to let Saber continue to sleep, as she will need to continue to conserve her energy for the fight that is presumably ahead tonight, as Amiya decides to start his day. Amiya's main concern right now is Gilgamesh, which it absolutely should be his main concern, as he completely outclassed Saber last night, and he will absolutely be showing up again. But there's nothing really Amiya can think on doing, but he does remember that Kotomine, last time he saw him, said he was going to look into this mysterious 8th servant, so maybe he has come up with something. With that in mind, Amiya decides to head over to the church. He of course decides to head out alone because God knows we can't have anyone learn their lesson in this game. Arriving at the church, Amiya is overwhelmed with this feeling of dread. He can't really quite place it, but as he's looking around the church, he can't even bring himself to call out to Kotomine to draw his attention that he's arrived, because he's just terrified for some reason. Not hard. Oh, this is something. I control my breathing. My throat is dry, and it's hard to breathe. Why? Even though the hallway is cool, sweat forms on my brow. I stop calling out and examine the surroundings with all my senses. Do I have such... I don't know why. Why am I walking silently? Why is my heart beating so fast? Why... An ominous feeling in this place. Same words repeat in my head. Go back, go back, go back, go back. Kotomine isn't here. So you don't have anything to do here. Go home since you're by yourself. Your decision is a mistake. Your actions are a mistake. Your chill is a mistake. Go back. Go back. Go back. This isn't bad. There is nothing bad here. There is nothing here. So go home. I feel sick. I feel nauseous. Times like this, my chill is correct. My sense for danger is good enough for an amateur magus. That's why I can't stop. Suppressing my pounding heart, I look for Kotomine's room. And in that way, I run into the darkness. I see stairs in the darkness. And a small indent between the walls one would normally miss because of the shadows and a narrow staircase is a narrow staircase. I shouldn't go down there. I'd bet money on it. Kotomine won't be down there. No one will be down there. There can't be down there. There can't be down there. There can't be down there. I believe that would be corpses. Yep, there we go. There can't be down there. I shouldn't go in there. My neck stiffens. There is no way we can just show up here, get this ominous feeling, and then just back out. There is something here. We can't pretend there's not. So if the red text is correct, the question I have to ask you is, do you want to see a dead body? I enter the darkness. It's a room made of stone. The lights aren't on, but the room itself is glowing blue if it's a living thing. It might be used quite often as the temple isn't dirty with dust or mold. How deep is this? I look up the stairs I've descended. Staircase is built along the wall in an arc. It must trace out a perfect half moon as I can see the start of the stairs about 10 meters directly above me. Is it because there is no light? The arching staircase that connects this underground and the outside world remind me of a centipede crawling through this temple. And I notice the door. Under the stairs, the symbol in front of me, beyond it, an entrance to darkness is open. I approach the darkness as if drawn to it. I go through what appears to be an entrance into the place. Is it damp? The floor feels slimy, and it's hard to walk on. It's like the time I cleaned the swimming pool at school. Thanks. The feeling that bog moss covers the floor, and the feeling that my leg would rot every time I step in it. I stop. It's because I'm scared by the nasty feeling on the floor. But more than that, because I smell an awful stench. I plug my nose in reflex. The smell isn't momentary, but ongoing. It's not the smell of meat. But it's not gunpowder either. The two smells, meat and gunpowder. Is this formalin? I don't know what the fuck that is. Okay, yeah. The smell of medicine fills this room. My senses were numbed as soon as I came underground. I don't feel any chills or pressure anymore. Okay, so I was so fucking right about Kotomine being a piece of shit. I mean, it's not like it was hard to tell, but like, damn. But still, my heart beats like it's expanding to twice its size. And my hands are vermiculating like they're going to crumble into pieces. Vermiculating, jeez. And the worst thing is, my eyes have gotten used to the darkness. The darkness fades. A drop falls somewhere. Was that a signal? The thing I couldn't see before are engraved into my eyes instantly. Whoa. What? It is a living hell that's somehow familiar. There are corpses. There are corpses. There are corpses. There are corpses. There are corpses all around me. Okay, the fact that he knew... Okay, but he knew there were corpses down here. Before he knew there were corpses down here, the time travel is happening again, as everything's coming together. The smell of medicine covers the smell of death. That's the cause of the dripping sound. The water is dripping into the corpses' mouths. The slightly open mouths take in the water, and it must have been like that for many years as the lips are swollen and rotten and the jaws are decomposing on some. Ugh. I tell myself that this isn't happening. I don't want to think that such a thing can happen, but I can't deceive myself. I can tell in a second, even though there are this many corpses, no one is dead here. They're alive. They're alive. These things that can only be perceived as corpses, these things that used to have human shape, are still quite alive. I remember a news story I heard somewhere. It was a story about a whale, about a guy who survived for a month after being swallowed by a whale. That was not a news story. You're confused. That huge creature has a huge digestive system to maintain its huge body. The great thing is, the creature has two of them. The first stomach is where it keeps all the fish it swallows. The next one is the one that digests all the creatures it stores. I don't know if that's true either. I don't know where did... So the man who was swallowed lived for a month being slowly melted in the lightless, warm, stinking meat lacking in oxygen. In the stomach, full of dead fish, he lived for a month as his clothes and hair melted. A month, not knowing when he would be sent to the stomach. And then some fishermen killed the whale, and when they were cutting it apart, a smooth, slimy human came out of the stomach, like an alien. Yeah. It's a tragic story, but this is just as bad. Why are they alive? Every corpse is deformed, and they lack too many of the human characteristics. Jesus. No limbs. I'm so glad I didn't send Ilya here. Those that have had them, cut off. Those that have had the ends decomposed, leaving only the bone. Those who are ground down in the cracks in the floor. Those who have become homes to bugs splattering on the wall. Man, no matter how they came to be that way, they have no limbs remaining. All of them are worn out like rotten trees. I don't even need to know why. The corpses are being eaten by the coffin. I don't know how it works. It's just that the corpses are stuck to the coffin, and the coffin is sucking the nutrient out of the corpses. The flow of life. The coffin is sucking up magical energy. No, something close to the soul. Slowly. So not to kill the ones it leeches off of, and so as to not allow them to live. The sound of the wind that sounds like sobbing. It seems like screams coming out of the corpses' mouths. Their throats have already decayed and they cannot let out voices. It has already become just an organ to keep them alive. But still the corpses are crying out. It's almost an audible voice. They scream with all their might. It must be the pain and the fear. They continue screaming, unable to stand, losing their form, and being eaten alive. Something. I hear a sound. The coffin in front of me gasps, drooling. An eye drops off as it turns its neck towards me. But still, it stares directly at me. The swollen lips move a little. It speaks a voice that's not even a voice. Where am I? And asks me that question. I'm right on the verge of screaming. No, I can't even scream now. Where am I? It doesn't say it hurts, nor does it ask for help, but it just doesn't understand why it's here. Is that the reason? He was like that before he realized it? He lived normally, went to sleep naturally, and was gasping here when he woke up. His limbs are already gone, sucked by that coffin, rotting away from the ends, unable to move, but he can only believe this is just a bad dream. This is grotesque. I might go insane. From this scene and from the terrible spectacle. But why? Why do I recognize... Oh my god. Oh my god. I've never seen them, but I recognize every one of the corpses. This is the first time I've seen them. They are people I shouldn't know. They are people unrelated to me, but why are they... as if knowing me, staring at me? These can't be the orphans, right? No. And I have another question. Is it some coincidence, or do the sacrifices have to meet this condition? Why are all the corpses here children of the same age? And then...
Yeah.
Very bad. Oh my god. Oh, wow. Oh, this is terrible. Suddenly, I'm tapped on the shoulder from behind. Oh, I'm fucked. Oh, this is... Well, I certainly learned something at the very least. I'm tapped on the shoulder from behind as if being greeted by a friend. My body freezes at this sudden event, and I can't even turn around. But I don't even need to turn around to tell who the person behind me is. Kotomina Kirei, the priest of the church, the man who made this hell, and a devil. I must not meet more than anything else in this place.
そろそろお前が来る頃だと思ってな。食事の準備をしに行ったのがまずかった。そうだ。前回はろくなもてなしができなかっただろう。私なりに気を使ったのだが、入れ違いになってしまったか。
I can't talk. The priest's hands are heavy on my shoulder.
不法侵入は感心しないな。そのようなことをすると。見なければいいものを見てしまう羽目になる。例えば、そう、お互いの関係を白紙に戻さざるを得ない真実を知ってしまうと。
Yeah, I will say, this puts a damper on the relationship you and me had up until this point. The priest's voice is more cheerful than I've ever heard it. Kotomina Kirei, standing behind me with his hands on my shoulder, is definitely smiling. That's why I'm frightened.
どうしたエミヤシロ。話をしに来たのだろう。黙っていては意味がないぞ。拍子抜けだな。それほどこの光景は機械かね。
It is very outrageous, sir. The priest says inhuman things in a cheerful voice. Does this man not feel anything when faced with this? I don't even need to tell him this scene is outrageous.
それは冷たいな。お前にとっては不快でも、そんなことはないと言ってやるのが情けだろう。そもそも、彼らとお前は兄弟のようなものだ。お前がそのような態度では、彼らも救われないと思うのだが。
Just now, what did this man say?
今、なんて。
この死体たちとお前は仲間だったと言ったのだ。形はどうあれ、お前たちはあの地獄から生還した者たちだ。血肉のつながりはなくとも、その絆は兄弟のそれに近いと思うのだが。
Wow, I'm really glad I included that little tidbit about the orphans in that one video, because this is sick. I see. That's why I thought I recognized them. This is the continuation of 10 years ago. And this place is the continuation of that hospital room. My head spins. Children who lost their homes and parents. They were supposed to be sent to an orphanage and stay there until they found someone who would adopt them. But I was adopted by Emiya Kiritsugu before that, and I did not know what happened to them afterward. I avoided thinking about it. The orphanage was the church on top of the hill, and I could have gone there anytime I wanted to, but still, I hesitated. I felt it wasn't fair to me to get adopted and then go see the children who didn't get adopted. So, if I was to meet them, it would be in town. We would meet accidentally, be able to talk normally, and would be able to be over the fire incident. I was looking forward to such a meeting, thinking that we would surely meet, as it's such a small town. So why have I not met even one of them?
そうだ、エミヤシロ。エミヤキリツユに引き取られていなければ、お前も彼らの一員となっていた。わかるか？お前はまたも一人だけで助かったのだ。周りの誰もが平等に死んでいくというのに、お前だけが輪を乱して生き延びた。どうかね。 自分自身大した不平等だとは思わないか。
My pulse returns. My frozen body defrosts in an instant.
いや、私は責めているわけではないぞ。むしろお前のそれは喜ばしい。エイミやシローの生き延びる才能は大したものだ。実際、私もお前が最後まで残るとは思ってもいなかった。だからこそ、最後はこうして兄弟たちに再会させてやったのだ。お前は本当に運がいい。ここは今日限りで締める予定だったのだが、ギリギリで間に合ったな。今まで10年間、サーバントの餌にするために彼らを生かし続けたが、それも終わりだ。やり始めた時ほどの濃い魂の摘出は望めぬし、もはや餌の必要もない。あとはお前とお前のサーバントを仕留めるだけになったのだからな。
So Gilgamesh is his. With that word, I break all restraints. I move my body, which had been bound. I fling my hands off my shoulder, throw myself forward, and turn to face the priest.
琴峰、お前が。
I face him, placing enough distance between us. In that moment, I feel a powerful shock from behind me. That's weird. I can't breathe. A sharp horn is growing out of my chest. Is Lance? What? The horn looks like the head of his... Oh my god. I'm all kinds of backwards, aren't I? That's strange. How can a spear be growing out of my chest?
ああ、そういえば言っていなかったな。改めて紹介しよう。彼が私のサーバントだ。
I turn to look back. There. I was all kinds of backwards. There, a blue spearman is standing, piercing my chest. The lance is pulled out of my chest. At the same time, a sharp pain runs through my head, as if to burn my brain. Lancer was probably at the school not because it was the school, but probably because Kotomine wanted to deal with Reen. It was probably there for Reen specifically. As Emiya lays there bleeding out, we can overhear Lancer and Kotomine talking. It becomes very clear, very fast, that this attack was not really for Emiya. This is just bait. They're trying to catch the bigger fish. This is all just to get the attention of Saber. Speaking of which, meanwhile, at the Emiya estate, Saber has just woken up and she's off staring at the sky, daydreaming about Emiya and what future he might have for himself. This daydream is interrupted by Reen, who's like, "Hey Saber, where is Shiro?" We get a little bit of Reen's internal monologue here, as she points out that she's picked up on the signs, and she already knows there's something going on between Emiya and Saber. The biggest sign was when she walked in this morning and saw them both naked laying together. But you know, she's perceptive like that. But she can make fun of these dorks later, as Ilya's condition is worsening, and she needs to talk to Emiya about it. She explains a bunch of stuff that I and Saber don't really get. Like, I get that Ilya is the Holy Grail or something like that, but Reen isn't really explaining it. She's just saying stuff about it, Reen quickly figures out that she's talking over Saber's head and decides to move on to a different topic.
あ、いいのよ。今のはわからないように言ったんだから。イリアのことは置いておきましょう。それよりランサーのことだけどね。あいつのマスター誰だか分かったんだけど。
Bit late, Rain?
ランサーのマスターが判明したのですか？
And how?
まあ分かったっていうか、前から分かってたっていうか。実はね、ランサーのマスターは魔術協会から派遣された外来のマスターなのよ。それ自体はとっくに分かってて、ついさっきそいつのねぐらを見つけてきたんだけど。
What?
リン、そのような危険なことは避けるべきです。敵の陣地が分かったのなら私に言ってくれればいい。私だってそのつもりだったわよ。けどさ、外から様子を探ってたらどうもおかしいのよ。で、留守っぽいなって中に入ってみたら、あったのは血の跡とレイジュが亡くなった左腕だった。それ以外は何もなかった。体ごとレイジュを奪われ、しかもあの出血量じゃ生存は絶望的でしょうね。ランサーのマスターはとっくにやられてたのよ。ではランサーはすでにいないのですか？10日前シロを襲った後に他のサーバントに倒されたと。だったらいいんだけどね。結婚はもっと前のものだった。これどういうことかわかる？サーバントを倒さず先にマスターを倒した。そうしてマスターからレイジュを奪い、ランサーと契約したマスターがいるということですか？
Alright, well that would explain why Kodamine is such an evil piece of shit. But Lancer's neutral, as he was not summoned by Kodamine, but Kodamine has taken his control of it.
ですが、残っているマスターは私とシロだけでしょ？けどランサーはまだ残っている。ってことはマスターじゃない魔術師がレイジを奪ってマスターになってるってことだけど。
Because he was already a master, he still had a command spell from last time.
いいえ、レイジの移植はマスターかサーバント、そのどちらかによるものだけです。いかに優れた魔術師という
Right? Or am I crazy? We'll find out.
レイジを奪ったところでマスターに。そう。じゃあもう一つ。マスターっていうのはさ、聖杯が消えてなくなってもレイジュが残っていて、かつサーバントさえ残っていれば、いつまでもマスターなの？そうですね。リンの言う通りです。レイジュとサーバントさえ残っていれば、聖杯戦争が終わったとしても、その魔術師はマスターとしての権利を。
Saber realizes the meaning of Reen's question and swallows her words.
では、リンはランサーのマスターを殺し、ランサーと再契約したのはその。ええ、それ以外ないと思う。そう思うとランサーの行動にも納得がいくのよ。あいつさ、他のサーバントの様子を探るのが役割みたいだったじゃない。戦えば自分の正体を明かしてしまうっていうのに、あいつは自分の正体を隠すでもなく他のサーバントにちょっかい出してた。それってつまりあいつは諜報専門だったってことでしょ？同感です。私と戦った時も彼は最後まで戦わなかった。宝具を使った以上、見せた相手は倒すのが私たちの定石だというのに。そうだからランサーのマスターにはもう一人サーバントがいたのよ。ランサーに敵の正体を探らせておいて、その後に正体不明の戦闘専用のサーバントをぶつける。これって必勝法でしょ？まあランサーにしてみればいい迷惑だったろうけど、6人のサーバント全員と戦って その手口を調べ上げた上で主の元に帰るんだもの。6人全てと引き分けなんてある意味とんでもないやつよね、あいつ。
Saber starts to worry about where Shiro is now. She asks Rin, who can only respond with, I literally asked you, I don't know. Rin theorizes, well, he could have gone to the church. I mean, that's where he went last time he disappeared. The second Rin proposes this, the image of where Amiya is pops into Saber's head, and Saber just takes off out of the house, up and over the wall, leaving Rin to wonder if she really peeked with her fireball to Hercules' face. Saber is just rocketing through the city to get to the church. When she arrives, she's destroying doors and the floor and the walls, all to get to this secret staircase. Saber quickly arrives at the room where Amiya is struck, where he still is. Again, this place being what I will not hesitate to call the worst place ever of all time, when the sense of death is in the air. Actually, seeing it, her anger goes over the limit. Anger towards herself. Anger towards the enemy who did such a thing. She cannot even hear the voice of Lancer blocking her way. She is standing at her limits, and it seems she cannot loosen up no matter what happens. Her master is down in the darkness. In the back room, in the middle of the room full of live corpses, he is on his stomach. Blood is pouring out of him, and his gasping can be heard even in this temple. He's alive. All the while, she is relieved. She shakes from having left him for so long in that state. Saber heads to the back room, but there is a guard in front of it. Holding his lance behind him, the blue spearman looks at Saber with fearless eyes. She does not hear his voice, so she does not stop. This is It is as one would expect from him to block it while he was talking. Lancer blocks Saber's surprise attack, but could not defeat its power as he retreats to the wall. But that makes the hindrance go away. There is no time to fight Lancer now. She has to save her master, who is on the verge of death.
そんなに坊主が大事か？そりゃ構わねえが、ならなおのこと、俺を放っておくわけにはいかないぜ、セイバ
ー。Saber stops at the entrance.
それはどういう意味ですか、ランサ
ー。いや、何な。そいつの胸を串刺しにしたのは俺なんだが、実はこれは二度目でね。以前は確かに殺したってのに、生きてやがったもんだからな。今回は念を入れて刺してやったわけだ。
貴様、シローにゲイボルクを使ったのか？
安心しろ。心臓は外してやった。だが呪いはそのままだぞ。セイバー、貴様とてこの槍の呪いは知っていよう。因果を逆転させる原因の槍。こいつの呪いを受けた者は、よっぽどの幸運がない限り、運命を変えられない。まあ、単純に言ってしまえば、ゲイボルクによってつけられた傷は癒されることはない。呪いを受けた者は決して回復できず、死に至るまで傷を背負うことになる。この世に、この槍がある限りな。
That changes the air. Saber's eyes finally regain intelligence.
ようやく理解できたか。そこの坊主を助けたいんだろう？ならまず、俺との決着をつけなくちゃな。
Lancer's beast-like killing intent comes at Saber. It is true that Lancer is serious, but...
正気ですか、ランサー。この狭い室内で、僧兵であるあなたが剣士である私と戦うと。そのような愚行、あなたの考えとは思えない。
今ならば見逃します。その槍を置いて去りなさい。このような不本意な戦いであなたの首を取る気はない。
それこそ愚行じゃねえのか。一体どこの英霊が自分の相棒を置いてくってんだよ。俺は何も取引をするためにそいつを刺したわけじゃない。俺はな、お前と殺し合いをするためにここにいる。
There is no dishonesty in his words. Lancer does not intend to let either of them leave here alive. For him, this is the first and last battle where he can go full strength. Lancer's wish is not for the Holy Grail. He wishes only for battle appropriate to a heroic spirit. Such a simple wish that should have been easily granted to a normal servant was never granted him until now. Therefore, he has no intention of losing out on what might be his last chance, even if it happens to be an unfavorable situation tip for him.
いいでしょう。ならばその槍を見事叩き切って捨てるだけだ。
Saber readies her invisible sword and faces the Blue Knight.
よく言った。白状するとな、貴様が最後に残ってくれて嬉しいぜ、セイバー。
Lancer's lance runs like a flash of light. Saber confronts it straight on. The rematch begins with both of them executing powerful blows. We return to Amiya's perspective. If you can even really call it that, I mean, he's barely conscious and just suffering in pain on the ground. But it's not even the worst thing that's happening to him right now, because right now he's trying to grapple with his failure once again as a superhero. What happened in this room, or rather, what is happening in this room, is something that Amiya cannot fix. No superhero can save these people. And this is the kind of thing that destroys Amiya's hero complex. At this point, Kotomine Kirei interferes and grabs Amiya and holds him up in front of Saber and Lancer fighting. Says, Saber, stop fighting if you want to save your master. And Lancer, you stop as well. Kotomine says, there's no reason to fight anymore. I can give you the Holy Grail now, Saber. Enough servants have already died, and the Grail should be more than powerful enough to grant most wishes now. Saber at first doesn't believe him, and Lancer is just completely put off. He's just never gonna get to fight anybody. But Kotomine insists. He says, listen, I'm just the Holy Grail selector. I just need the vessel and someone worthy of receiving the Grail. He does add though, well, I will have to see if Amiya is worthy. What are Amiya Shiro and Saber, King Artoria, really made of? My body moves. My head is grabbed and my body is lifted. It hurts. The wound in my chest opened up. The pain makes my vision go white.
案ずるな。ただ返事を聞くだけだ。聖杯は求める者にのみ答える。己のマスターが聖杯にふさわしいかどうか、お前とて興味はあろう。
それは無駄だ。シローは聖杯を欲しがらない。私のマスターはお前のようなゲスではない。
ああ、この男は初めからそう言っていたな。だがそれは本心ではあるまい。あらゆる人間に闇があるよう、この男にも影はある。例えばそう、10年前のあの日、この少年は本当に何も恨まなかったのか。その先にあったものを忘れることで振り払っているのではないか。
Hold on. What's he saying? Fire 10 years ago was nothing to do with this. This is meaningless. Nothing should come out of it.
その傷を切開する。さあ、懺悔の時だ。エミヤシロ。
My back arches. My mind reverses like electricity is running through it. In place of my fading mind, a red vision appears. Stop. 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 There's no meaning in this. No one will be saved if I remember this now. Everybody died. Everyone was dead. I was the only one wandering through the fire. The houses had burned down with burnt up corpses under them, and sound of crying came from all around. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. I walked alone. I sought help, and I wanted someone to save me, so I kept walking, not looking to the side. Stop. All the while, how could I think that no one was asking for help from me when I could still move? Stop. Help, 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 help. Yeah, I noticed. There's no way I couldn't have noticed. I walked through it all. I ignored the voices sobbing in pain. I ignored the vases going mad trying to escape. I ignored the screams of those not wanting to die. I ignored the pleas of mothers wanting me to take their children. I even ignored the dying eyes that could not ask for help. I kept walking, only seeking help for myself. Wait. I was tired of looking at corpses. I was already tired of seeing people die in pain. I thought I couldn't save them. I thought they would die no matter what I did. That's why I never stopped. Stop! Give it back! Give it back! Give it back! I thought I had to live even a second longer before I had to go that far. If there were people who died without being able to do anything, as long as I could do something, I thought I had to live. Stop! But my heart was almost crushed. I held back my tears and walked on in search of an escape. It was hard to live on while ignoring the pleas for help. I knew. It would be easier if I apologized, so I never apologized. I believed that would be my own sincerity, as I could not do anything. Stop! It hurts, it hurts, it hurts. As I wished I was alone was saved. The only ones at the hospital were children, unfortunate enough to be in areas near where the fire occurred. I didn't want to know about it, but the man in the white coat told me. In that area, I was the only survivor. Stop already! I saw people dying in pain. I saw just as many sad people because there was a funeral for all those who died in a big building. Every kind of sadness and affection for those that died. I thought that. Just stop! Hey. I had to remember every single bit of it. It's only natural. That many people wanted to be helped, and not one of them had their wish granted. So, since my wish was granted, I thought it was only natural for me to take on their deaths. No, I could not hold my head up unless I thought so. No more. Give it back, give it back, give it back. That's why I frantically chased after Kiritsugu. For those I couldn't save, and for the things I couldn't do, I admired a superhero who could save someone. What was me crumbled away as I ignored the pleas for help. I kept moving forward with an empty mind. No more. Please, please, please. The people I didn't save taught me that I had to go on. What was lost with all that? I just thought about going forward in place of all the people that died. I couldn't think of anything else. I sealed any memories before that so that I would never think about them. People kinder than anyone else. Memories of those who were my parents, so as not to recall them and go back. I sealed them tight, thinking I was already dead. Don't open it. It's not painful. Emiya Shiro was happy being adopted by Emiya Kiritsugu. So,
それを間違いだと思ったことが一度もなかったというのかね。
I'm telling you, don't open that. Pain. The pain in my chest pulls me back to reality. My nausea doesn't stop. My limbs are numb, and my head is burning. My breathing is ragged. Return it, return it, return it. Their voices are echoing in my head. I throw up blood. Is it because my body is dying, or because I cannot endure those voices? My chest hurts. My chest hurts. My chest hurts. I can't plug it, even if I try. What hurts is the pain inside. It will keep hurting as long as the memory is there, and it will never heal. Is it an illusion? I see a figure that should not be here. So I have to bear this. I can't think about wanting to die. If she is here, even in illusion, I have to act like I'm alright.
深い傷だ。これでは癒されぬままでは苦しかろう。エミヤシロ。お前はそのままで一生を終えるべきではない。
I hear the priest's voice. The voice is totally unlike him, filled with
お
compassion.
前は聖杯などいらぬと言ったな。だがどうだ。仮に10年前の出来事をやり直せるとしたら、お前は聖杯を欲するのではないか。あの出来事で失われたもの、すべてを救うのだ。あの事故をなくし、エミやキリツグなどにかかわらず、本来の自分に戻れる。それこそが、お前自身を救う唯一の方法ではないのかな。
Redo the incident 10 years ago. Redo myself, who survived by not saving anyone. No, more than that. If I could make that incident as if it never happened so that no one would be hurt.
そんな
I shake my head. I reject the vision with my burning head. I spit at my own weakness because it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. I hear their voices. My fingers feel the wet floor. Help. They all want to go back to that day. Yeah, I wanted that too. I saw it. It can't have been as bad as you guys. Even after Kiritsugu adopted me, I went to the burnt field often to look at the scenery. I went to that place where nothing remained, opened the door that didn't exist, walked through the hallway that didn't exist, and smiled at my mother who wasn't there anymore. I wanted to return to the days before it happened. I awaited the day when I would wake from this bad dream. That didn't happen, and I accepted reality. But if I could obtain a world where it didn't happen and where nobody got hurt, that would certainly be...
さあ、答えよ。お前が望むのならば、聖杯を与えよう。
The priest with the Holy Grail says so. Return it, return it, return it, return it. If I wish, these voices will go away. Orphans like me. If fate had taken a slight turn, I would be there as well. So I don't even need to think about this. I don't need to think about it, so why?
そんなことは望めない。
I stare straight at the dead corpses, and I reject them. That is my answer. Doesn't matter what the Holy Grail is. I can't wish to regenerate the dead, nor to change the past.
そうだ。やり直しなんかできない。死者は蘇らない。起きたことは戻せない。そんなおかしな望みなんて。
My cheeks are hot. Every time I say such a miracle is impossible, tears pour out from vexation. I wonder why miracles, wishing for normal happiness, are too much for people.
それを可能とするのが聖杯だ。万物すべて君の望むままとなる。
The priest says so, but I can't agree. Even if I could redo the past, I must not take back what has already happened. Because if I do that, everything would be a lie. Those tears, those pains, those memories, that cold reality that hurts my heart, all of it. There were people who died in pain. There were people who risked their lives to save other people. There were people who mourned for the deaths. But then if everything were taken back and it did not happen, where would all of those go? The dead people would not come back. Reality cannot be overturned. To continue on remembering the pain and the weight, isn't that how lost things remain? People will eventually die. Death itself is sad, but pain shouldn't be the only thing that remains. A death is painful, but it also leaves behind bright memories. As I am bound by these people's deaths, as I am protected by my memories of Kiritsugu, I believe memories become constraints and change the people living now, even if they are memories that will eventually be forgotten.
その道が今までの自分が間違ってなかったって信じている。
そうか。つまりお前は
聖杯なんていらない。俺は置き去りにしてきたもののためにも自分を曲げることなんてできない。
I declare so within my pain. I control the pain and my fading consciousness and manage to stay up on my knees. Then I finally realize I can't hear the voices. The voices aren't echoing anymore. I don't know how they took my answer, but it is sad that they closed their eyes without a single grudge. That is the answer her master arrived at. The anger she bore until just a moment ago has disappeared. She's at a loss for words, staring at her master.
その道が今までの自分が間違ってなかったって信じている。
With his bloody body, with his ragged breath, controlling his
置
tears,
き去りにしてきたもののためにも自分を曲げることなんてできない。
he has apologized to everything he has stepped on, but he still declares that he will not change his path. Her vision wavers. She cannot breathe right either. She knew of his past. As Miyashiro has seen Saber's past, she has also seen his. This is why she thought he would nod. No, she thought he had to nod. She wanted to say that it was not his fault. If he could hear, she wanted to say that it is not something Amira Shiro should be burdened with. But still, he denied it. No matter how painful the past, one cannot redo it. She almost collapses. Those words are too heavy for her. Making an oath and devoting everything you have to its accomplishment. She had felt that their ways were similar, but that was just conceit. Only she thought they were similar. They could not be similar. His mind is strong, and she, only able to deny his words, was wrong.
自らの救いではなく自らの願いを取ったか。
The The priest lets go of the boy. He looks down at him in annoyance and walks past him as if he's lost all interest in
で
him.
はお前はどうだセイバー。小僧は聖杯などいらぬという。だがお前は違うのではないか。お前の目的は聖杯による世界の救済だ。よもや英霊であるお前まで小僧のようにエゴはかざすまい。
Her heart is shaken by his question. Free says he will give the Holy Grail. He will give her the Holy Grail if she has a goal and a wish she once granted.
それは
There is no reason to refuse. She fought for that alone. She became a servant for that reason alone. So what Shiro said does not matter to her. To obtain the Holy Grail, Saber
では交換条件だ。セイバー。斧が目的のため、その手で自らのマスターを殺せ。その暁には聖杯を与えよう。
moment of truth. She would do anything. It's an unexpected proposal. She cannot understand it. It's not that she cannot understand his words, but such a choice has never existed for her.
どうした？迷うことはあるまい。今の小僧ならば、死んだということにも気がつかないうちに殺せるぞ。第一もはや助からない命だ。ここでお前が引導を渡してやるのも情けではないかな。
The priest steps aside. Before her is the door leading to the underground cemetery and a collapsed figure. She walks as if drawn to it. She walks past the priest and enters the damp room. This room is hell. He arrived in this place and he was shown his dark side, and yet he declined the priest's offer. She places her hands on her sword. At her feet is her master breathing painfully. The end of a long journey. The Holy Grail she desired at the cost of her life. It will be granted just by swinging her sword down. After all, a master and a servant cooperate only until they obtain the Holy Grail, even if it ends here.
どうした？何をためら？聖杯と引き換えなのだぞ。
The priest's words are true. It is strange to hesitate now, but still,
その道が今までの自分が間違ってなかったって信じている。
those words will not leave her.
私は
It is vexing, but she isn't like Shiro. She wants to redo everything. On that day, there was someone better suited to become king, someone else to pull out the sword. And that person must have been able to build a more peaceful country. That is her heart that holds her country dear. That is the doubt of the girl Artoria before she became a king. That mind she left behind on the day she drew the sword. Why did she not realize it before?
置き去りにしてきたもののためにも自分を曲げることは
That in her heart that holds her country dear is the mind of a girl before she became a king. But it's not the heart of the king. The only one the king believed in was herself. To deny that would be to deny everything she has taken away. Things lost will never return. Her master continued to appeal to his pain. His figure hurts her so much. What did she tell him? That she could not start a new life? She continued to refuse him, saying that she had a duty as the king? What duty is that? To resurrect the destroyed country? To choose a more appropriate king? Or does she only wish to make that destruction never have happened?
それは違う。
Yeah, that is wrong. She was raised and lived as a king. There was no mistake. So if the result was ruin, why could she not accept it? There are no regrets. If one can be proud of one's life, one should not wish for another chance.
そういうことなのですね。
Shiro's lamentations pierce her heart. He said that the tears would go away, that the pain would go away, that the heaviness in her heart would go away as well. That is salvation by elimination. But if everything were made to never have happened, what would happen to all the things taken away? She has taken away many things and killed many. To bear the pain and regret, it is the requiem. So if she wishes for another chance, it should be from this moment on and not from the past. If there is something she could not do, she should not go back to the past to accomplish it, but rather she must start to establish the wishes that never came true from this moment on. But she's no longer a king, as she has lost her country. So her wish should be for herself, as he says. No, that is not something that should be wished for. It was her decision to become king. It was never painful for her. Even if no one understood or accepted her, she believes that she desired was something she can be proud of. At the least, the girl pulled the sword out believing so. That is the answer. Just like him, that is the only answer she can be proud of. She remembers the oath that she made a long time ago, something that she kept to herself. She decided to fight, even if it meant losing everything and fighting everything.
私は愚かだった。
The oath of the king to fight even in that condition. The king protected the country, but the country did not protect the king. That is all. The result was cruel, but if there was nothing to be ashamed of in the process,
求める必要などなかった。
she swore to accomplish her duties as king, even if the result was her destruction. She fulfilled that oath until the very end, so she does not need anything else. Yes, she did not want everything. From the beginning, there was only one thing she wanted. She lost many things to obtain it, but there was something she protected until the very end. With that in mind, let her end the dream that was never granted.
聖杯は欲しい。けれど、シローは殺せない。
Pointing her sword at her enemy, she says so from the bottom of her heart.
なんだと。
わからぬかゲロー。そのようなものより、私はシローが欲しいと言ったのだ。
That's why her role is already determined, to be his sword and shield, and so she cannot hesitate
聖
any
杯
longer.
はいらぬというのか、セイ
聖杯が私を汚すものならばいらない。私が欲しかったものは、もうすべて揃っていたのだから。
Yes, everything was there. Her pride as a knight and her oath as the king. Even the dream the girl Artoria wished for. I mean, not that I think Kodamine's author had no strings attached, but if I was one of those children coffins, I'd probably have hoped that Emiya would take that deal.